Welcome to the Think CSEC channel. If you're visiting for the first time, go right ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell so that you are notified when new videos are being uploaded. Well, today we will be doing the CSEC Office Administration May-June 2012 past paper 1. So let us get right into it. The first question says, in the business of a sole trader, the decision of what to purchase is usually made by the A. Cashier, B. Proprietor, C. Stock control clerk, or D. Purchasing manager. Now, this is another question that is repeated. The answer is B. Proprietor. Let's go on to question number 2. It says, item 2 refers to the following organizational chart of James Co. Limited. We have shareholders, then we have our board of directors, then general managers, then we have advertising manager or human resource manager or financial manager or company secretary, um, and then our advertising clerks, the human resource clerks responsible to the human resource manager, and the accounts clerk as well as the office manager all report to the human resource manager. Okay, so the question 2 says the proprietors of James Co. Limited are the A. Clerks, B. Directors, C. Managers, or D. Shareholders. Our answer is D. They are shareholders. Let's go on to question number 3. It says, you are a clerk in a small organization. Your supervisor is a secretary, and the head of the organization is the general manager. You feel that some improvements can be made in the filing system. Which of the following would be the most appropriate action for you to take? A. Discuss your ideas with the secretary. B. Make the changes you feel are necessary. C. Discuss your ideas with the general manager. Or D. Continue with the old system until you are asked for an opinion. Our answer would be A. Discuss your ideas with the secretary. Let's go on to question number 4. Which of the following pieces of computer hardware is an output device? A. CPU, B. Mouse, C. Monitor, or D. Keyboard. Our answer is C. Monitor. Let's go on to question number 5. When dealing with members of the public, which attitude should you adopt in your job? A. The customer is always right. B. Be polite to customers who are polite to you. C. Work hard but do not go the extra mile. D. Treat people as they deserve to be treated. Now, when we use a method of elimination, we know that it would not be B. Polite to customers who are polite to you. No. C. Work hard but do not go the extra mile. You will lose your customers. D. Treat people as they deserve to be treated. No. The answer is A. The customer is always right. Let's go on to question number 6. It says the span of control refers to the A. Lines of communication between the manager and his or her subordinates. B. Effective number of subordinates the manager can supervise efficiently. C. Manager's influence, right, or power to perform a particular task. Or D. System of grading management and subordinates on different levels. What would be your answer? Our answer is B. Span of control refers to the effective number of subordinates the manager can supervise efficiently. Let's go on to question number 7. An application for the position of dispatch clerk was addressed to the company. To whom should the mail clerk forward this application? A. Shipping supervisor. B. Marketing manager. C. Administrative officer. Or D. Human resource manager. Our answer would be to the human resource manager. Seeking a position in a company. Okay, let's go on to question number 8. So here we have a diagram. We see the months of January through to June, and we see the scales. All right. Let's look at question 8. It says, the means of communication illustrated in the above diagram is best described as A, oral, B, written, C, visual, or D, electronic. Well, we know it's not oral. Nobody's speaking. It's a diagram, a representation of something. So we are using our eyes to see. So it is visual. Okay, let's go on to 9. The franking machine is used to A. Dispatch outgoing mail. B. Record the time of arrival of incoming mail. C. Indicate that a person has seen the correspondence. Or D. Give an impression of the value of postage. Our answer is D. Give an impression of the value of postage. Let's go on to question 10. A draft of revised procedures for handling mail is to be prepared by a committee and submitted to the office manager. Which of the following formats should be used? A. Note. B. Report. C. Letter. Or D. Statement. Our answer would be a report. A draft, a report. Let's go on to question 11. It says, a PBX system is used to facilitate A. Oral communication, B. Storage of documents, C. Retrieval of documents, or D. Written communication. Our answer would be A. Oral communication. Let's go on to question number 12. On receipt of an incoming letter, the mail clerk's first action should be to A. Code it, B. Date stamp it, C. Route it correctly, D. Hand it to the supervisor. It would be to date stamp it, B. Let's go on to question number 13. A confidential letter addressed to your employer is received in a torn condition. You should A. Return the letter to the mail department. B. Attach a note to the envelope and deliver by hand to your employer. C. Put the letter into a new envelope and take it to your employer. Or D. Refuse to accept the envelope from the mail department. Which would be your answer? It would be attach a note to the envelope and deliver by hand to your employer. B. Let's go on to number 14. When the 24-hour clock is showing 18:30 hours, the time on the 12-hour clock is A. 6:30 a.m., B. 6:30 8:30 a.m., C, 6:30 p.m., or D, 8:30 p.m.? This is another question that has been repeated. Our answer would be C, 6:30 p.m. Let's go on to question number 50. Miss Jan Brown is the marketing specialist of Bath Soaps Limited. She wants to send a sample questionnaire about a product manufactured by the company to the public. Which of the following types of postal services should she use? A, express mail, B, registered letter, C, business reply service, or D, special delivery service? Our answer would be C, business reply service. Let's go on to question number 16. Which of the following should be used to obtain postage rates? A, Ready Reckoner, B, Post Office Guide, C, Franking Machine, or D, ABC Shipping Guide? Our answer is B, Post Office Guide. Let's go on to question number 17. Here it says, a file is said to be inactive when A, it is of no further use, B, it has not been released for filing, C, it has been withdrawn for reference purposes, or D, the correspondence is too little to open a new file. Our answer is A, it is of no further use. Let's go on to question number 18. Which of the following characteristics is the most important when choosing a filing system? A, ease of operation. B, capability of expansion. C, availability of filing equipment and supplies. D, suitability for the nature of the business. The answer is the suitability for the nature of the business. That is most important when you're choosing a filing system. What type of business is it? That will allow you to select the most appropriate or important one. Let's go to question 19. Filing through the use of microfilming is valuable for the storage of A, passport sized photographs of staff members, B, information which must be kept for many years, C, official records which are frequently used, or D, customers' accounts from which statements are to be made. Our answer would be B, information which must be kept for many years. Let's go on to question 20. A tickler file should be used to A, serve as a reminder, B, keep temporary records, C, keep permanent records, or D, store confidential information. Our answer would be serve as a reminder, A. Let's move on to question 21. Here it says, in which order should the following names be filed? 1, Captain Richard P. Dundee. 2, the Dundee Cake Company Co. 3, Dundee and Dandy Limited. 4. James Dundee and Sons. Is it A, 1, 2, 3, and 4, B, 1, 3, 4, then 2, or C, 2, 3, 4, then 1, or D, 3, 4, 2, 1? Our answer would be C, 2, 3, 4, 1. C would be our answer. So we'll have the Dundee Cake Company first, then we have Dundee and Dundee Limited, then we have James Dundee and Sons, then we have Captain Richard P. Dundee. So that would be your answer. So let's move on to question number 22. To maintain efficient records management, documents are filed in chronological order. This system is used by arranging files according to A, dates, B, topics, C, numbers, D, companies. Our answer would be A, by dates. Let's go on to 23. A records management system is best described as information cycle that A, collects, retains, runs, and moves information in an upward direction. B, recycles information so that it becomes available when needed. C, stores, retrieves, transports, and collects information. D, collects information every year. Our answer is C, stores, retrieves, transports, and collects information. Let's move on to 24. The term cross-referencing refers to files that are filed under A, inactive filing, B, the same heading, C, different headings, or D, miscellaneous filing. Our answer is C, different headings. Let's move on to question 25. Here it says, appointments for each day should be written in a diary. A, at regular intervals. B, in the correct time sequence. C, clearly and concisely with a pen. Or D, in pencil and when confirmed in ink. Or answer, in the correct sequence, time sequence. Let's move on to 26. Here it says, the correct procedure for a receptionist to use when introducing a business visitor is to announce the person's A, name and title, B, title and company, C, company title and name, D, name, title, and company. Our answer would be name, then the title and company. So our answer is D. Let's go on to 27. The best location for a receptionist desk is near to the A, manager's office, B, records department, C, entrance of the building, or D, busiest part of the building. Our answer would be at the nearest to the entrance of the building. First person, as they enter, they will see. All right, let's go on to 28. Before starting to set up appointments, a secretary should first thoroughly familiarize herself with which of the following? A, the pattern of her boss' workday. B, the correct procedure for greeting callers. C, the method of recording appointments. Or D, the extension numbers for which member of staff. Our answer would be A, the pattern of her boss workday. Okay, let's go on to question 29. Here it says, in what order should a secretary complete the following procedures when preparing for a meeting? 1. Collect stationery for use at the meeting. 2. Ensure that a venue is booked. 3. Send notices of the meeting and agenda to all members. 4. Collect information required for use at the meeting. So let's look at our option answer. Is it A, 1, 4, 2, and 3, or B, 2, 3, 4, and 1, or C, 3, 2, 1, 4, or D, 4, 3, 1, then 2? Our answer would be B. Ensure that a venue is booked, then send notices of the meeting and agenda to all members, then collect information required for use at the meeting, and then collect stationery for use at the meeting. So our answer is B. So that is what the procedures a secretary would do before when preparing for a meeting. Let's go on to number 30. Which of the following terms is used to describe a committee which has been set up to deal with a specific matter? A, ad hoc, B, central, C, general, or D, administrative? Our answer is A, ad hoc. Let's go on to 31. All of the following items of businesses are discussed at an annual general meeting except A, declaration of dividends, B, election of directors and auditors, C, making arrangements for a very important person, or D, presentation and adoption of the company's reports and accounts for the previous year. Our answer would be C, making arrangements for a very important person. All the others are discussed, but this one is not discussed at a general meeting. So answer is C. A, B, and D are what are discussed at annual general meetings. Let's go on to number 32. When there is an equal number of votes for and against a motion, the chairman should A, cast a vote, B, drop the motion, C, recount the votes, or D, amend the motion. Our answer would be A, cast a vote. Let's go on to question number 33. For which of the following reasons would a chairman of a company's board postpone a meeting? A, two of the directors of the company are absent. B, the secretary has misplaced the list of members. C, the chairman's agenda has not been prepared. Or D, the number of persons needed to form a quorum is not present. Our answer is D. The number of persons needed to form a quorum is not present. It's not present there. Let's go to 34. The term verbatim minutes refers to a or an A, record prepared in the present tense, B, detailed recording of the chairman's remarks, C, extract of import proceedings in the minutes, or D, exact wording of the proceedings at the meeting? Our answer would be D, exact wording of the proceedings at the meetings. Let's move on to 35. An executive has to attend an overseas meeting and will have to make reference to correspondence on file. Which of the following actions would be most appropriate to allow him to have the relevant information? A. Make copies of the correspondence. B. Make a summary of the correspondence. C. Give him the relevant files and ask him to sign for them. Or D. Give him the correspondence from the files and ask him to sign for it. Our answer would be A. Make copies of the correspondence. Let's go on to number 36. It says, traveler's checks should be countersigned. A. As soon as they're issued. B. Before taking them to the person accepting payment or cashing them. C. In the presence of the person accepting payment or cashing them. Or D. At the hotel before taking them to the persons accepting payment or cashing them. Our answer would be C. Traveler's check should be countersigned in the presence of the person accepting payment or cashing them. Let's go to 37. It says, your employer is on a business trip in another Caribbean territory and urgently requires additional money. The best way to send money to her is by A. Debit transfer, B. Credit transfer, C. International bank draft, or D. Electronic money transfer. Our answer is D. Electronic money transfer. Let's go on to number 38. Some firms offer a program which aims at assisting new employees in becoming familiar with their jobs. This program is referred to as an A. Appraisal, B. Induction, C. Deployment, D. Recruitment. Our answer is an induction. Let's go on to 39. Well, we have items 39 here. We have this document. We see the title, purchasing clerk, the department, purchasing, hours of work, 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. Responsible to, purchasing assistant. We have the job summary. It is stated to assist in the procurement of goods and services for the company. The duties are 1. Preparation and processing of purchasing requisitions. 2. Maintaining stock records. 3. Maintaining a database on suppliers. So 39 says, the document above is an example of A. Job analysis, B. Job description, C. Job specification, or D. Personnel specification. Our answer is B. Job description. Let's go on to question number 40. Here it says, which of the following sequences should be used when planning interview appointments? 1. Inform each applicant of the date and time of the interview. 2. Give the receptionist the names of applicants and the time each is expected. 3. plan that each interview lasts at least half an hour. 4. Make a note of the exact time set for each applicant. So here are option answers. Is it A, 1, 2, 3, and 4? Is it B, 2, then 3, 4, then 1? Or is it C, 3, 4, 1, 2? Or is it D, 4, 1, 2, 3? So what would be your answer here? Remember the question, which of the following sequence should be used when planning interview appointments? So our answer is C. First, plan that each interview lasts at least an hour. Then make a note of the exact time set for each applicant. Then 1. Inform each applicant of the date and time of the interview. And then 2. Give the receptionist the names of applicants and the time each is expected. So our answer is C. Let's go on to 41. Claire Lee is paid a basic wage of $8 per hour for a 40-hour week and $9.60 per hour for overtime. Last week, Claire worked 48 hours. What was her total wage for the week? We have A, $76.80, B, $320, C, $396.80, and D, $760. Now, we are given the time, the amount, and the time that was paid. So she got a basic wage of $8 per hour for a 40 week. So for that week, so we have to multiply the 8 by the 40. She got it at that rate. So 8 4 8 32. That's $320. And then it says $9.60 per hour for overtime work. And she worked 48 hours. So the 8 hours now would be paid at overtime rate. So we multiply 8 by $9.60. And when we multiply that, we get $76.80. So $9.60 multiplied by 8, you get $76.80. So therefore, for us to know the total wage for the week, we would have to add the overtime to our regular wage, which was $320 plus $76.80, and therefore we would get $396.80. So answer is C. Let's go on to question 42. The job an employee has been doing is no longer required by the organization. The employee is said to be A, restrained, B, regraded, C, reassigned, or D, redundant. So is it A, retrained, B, regraded, C, reassigned, or D, redundant? Our answer would be D, redundant. So no longer required by the organization, redundant. 43. Which of the following sources can a new employee use to familiarize himself with the organization? A, personal files, B, company secretary, C, company manual, or D, contract of employment? Our answer would be the company manual, C. Let's go on to question number 44. Okay, we have a diagram. So here we see Mutual Trust Bank Limited. We see the address, 10 High Street, Port of Spain, Trinidad. We have the date. It was paid to Joan Grant, $300. All right. and we see it is being crossed. It says account payee only. Okay, all right. So here it says the above check is payable to A, anyone who presents it, B, the person who has endorsed it, C, anyone with an account at the bank, or D, the account of the person named on the check. It would most definitely be the account D, the account of the person named on the check. That is who it is being paid out to. All right. So there we have it. Let's go to 45. To pay his account in cash, a customer tendered five $20 bills, three $10 bills, 10 $5 bills, nine $1 bills, and 25-cent pieces. What sum of money did the customer pay? A, $189. B, $190. C, $191. Or D, $195. Now this is another repeat question again. We know it is $190. B. Why do we say that? Remember, we multiply 5 by 20, we get 100. 3 by 10, we get 30. 10 by 5, we get 50. 9 by 1, we get 9. 20 by 5, that's another dollar. And we add them all up and we get $190. Let's go on to question number 46 through 47. We have the following document. Here we have another check. Lingo Bank Limited. See it is paid to the order of Mr. Bruce All. We have our date. We have the amount that is being paid out. And the one who endorsed it. Okay. So 46 says, the person, Mr. Bruce Hall, to whom the check was made out is called the A payee, B payer, C banker, or D acceptee. It would be the payee. Okay, let's go on to question 47. On the 2nd of October 2011, Mr. Hall attempted to cash the above check at his bank, Savings Banks Limited. His request was denied because A, his account was overdrawn, B, it was a crossed check, C, the check is post-dated, or D, he did not possess any form of identification. Our answer would be B, it was a cross-checked. Okay, let's go on to 48 now. Here it says, a time card is used when calculating the A, wages for hourly paid workers, B, machine hours needed for a job, C, time required to complete a job, or D, salaries for monthly paid workers. It would be wages for hourly paid workers. That's what a time card is used for. All right, let's go on to question 49. Which of the following services would usually be offered to customers who have fixed deposit accounts at a commercial bank? 1, higher interest rate than that offered on savings accounts. 2, withdrawals on demand with interest earned. 3, permission to write checks on the accounts. Is it A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, 1 and 3 only, or D, 1, 2, and 3? Our answer is A, one only, higher interest rate than that offered on savings accounts. Let's go on to question number 50. It says, which of the following is the best method of processing inventory data? A, manual, B, physical, C, electronic, or D, mechanical? Our answer would be C, electronic. Let's go on to question 51. The Joy High School wants to build a new canteen and has received promotional material from several firms. In order to select the most suitable firm for the job, the school should invite firms to send A, tenders, B, price lists, C, catalogs, or D, statements. Now, using the method of elimination, we know it could not be price list. It couldn't be catalogs either. It couldn't be statements. Those are not what is used, but it is A, tenders. A, tenders. So that would be your answer, A, tenders. Let's go on to question 52. So here it says, item 52 refers to the table below, which shows the information on a stationary stock card, all right? So the maximum we have 50 reams, minimum 20 reams. So we have on the 1st of March, there was 45, there was a balance of 45. Then on 8, sales department issued 10, so 35 was left. Then we have the 10th of March, type in pool issued 12, 23 was left. Then on the 10th of March, AS Bounty and Sons Limited received 25. So when the amount that was balanced would have been 28. Okay. Then on the 1st of April, purchasing department issued 8. So that we had a balance of 40. Take away 8 from that, 48, we left with 40. Now on the 12th of April, time bill pool issued 10, so 30 was left. Then the 23rd of April, we had personal department, 10 issued 10, so 20 was left. Now it says, how many reams must be ordered on the 23rd of April to restore stock to maximum? Okay, remember at the outset, it says maximum is 50, all right. And how many we had in balance? 20. So 20 from 50 would give us 30. So the answer is B. So 30 needed to take it back to the maximum. Let's look at 53. Item 53 refers to the following stock information. We have January 15, February 15, we see how much stock was there and how many it cost. And on May 20 was issued. Now it says, what is the closing stock at the end of May using the LIFO method? LIFO, last in, first out method. So after working out, you should get $350. A should be your answer. So let's go on to question number 54. The factory office is responsible for planning and organizing the A, costs of production, B, marketing of goods, C, production processes, or D, contracts of employment of the workers. Our answer is C, production processes. Go on to question number 55. It says, the duties of a clerk in the transport office include 1. Maintaining a database of couriers, 2. Accepting orders from customers, or 3. Providing customers with information about the delivery of their orders. Is it A, 1 and 2 only, B, 1 and 3 only, C, 2 and 3 only, or D, 1, 2, and 3? Our answer is B, 1 and 3 only. Maintaining a database of couriers and providing customers with information about the delivery of their orders. Let's go on to 56. An unsolicited letter of application may be written when A, a job is advertised in the newspaper, B, a company advertises for a vacancy, C, a company's application form is made available, or D, an application is sent inquiring about a vacancy. Our answer is D, an application is sent inquiring about a vacancy. Let's go on to number 57. It is now 3 months since you have applied for a job at a large firm and you have only received a letter of acknowledgement. What action should you now take in an effort to obtain the job? A. Write another letter of application. B. Telephone your friend who works with the firm. C. Visit the company and ask to see the human resource manager. Or D. Write a letter to follow up the application. Our answer would be D. Write a letter to follow up the application. Let's move on to 58. Says, a person who was dismissed from a previous job is filling out an application form for another job. He is required to state the reason for leaving the last place of employment. It is best to A. Ignore the question, B. Answer not applicable, C. Give the correct reason, or D. Make a reasonable excuse. It would be C. Give the correct reason. Be truthful. Let's go on to question 59. Here it says, which of the following should be done if no mention is made of promotion opportunities when you are being interviewed for a job and you are interested in having such information? A. Ask about it in a follow-up letter after the interview. B. Visit the office and question the employees. C. Assume that promotion will be automatic. Or D. Ask about it before the close of the interview. It would be best to D. Ask about it before the close of the interview. Let's go on to our final question of this paper. It says, which of the following is not a requirement of a letter of application? A. It should be typed. B. The grammar used should be correct. C. It should request an opportunity for an interview. Or D. It should indicate the position for which the person is applying. Our answer is A. It should be typed. That's not a requirement, but it is important that the grammar is correct. It is important that we request an opportunity for an interview, and it should indicate the position for which the person is applying. So all the others are included except A. That is not a requirement. So this is it, guys. We have come to the end of the CSEC Office Administration June 2012 past paper 1. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give this video a like if you have received some value from it and you have benefited from it. Give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to share the video and to leave a comment below. Until then, see you in the next video.